You know, sometimes it just takes one tiny spark to burn down an entire empire. Well, this is a story about that spark. It's about how one single act of high school bullying managed to unravel a whole life of carefully built privilege, and in the process, exposed a rot that went way, way deeper than anyone could have imagined.
I mean, that one line just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly sets the stage. This is a story all about consequences, where a single phone call, a call that was supposed to show everyone who was in charge, ends up being the trigger for complete and total self-destruction. The stakes are clear right from the get-go.
So, where does it all kick off? Well, in the most normal place you can think of, a high school hallway. But at Lincoln High, the social structure is anything but ordinary. And yeah, it's about to become a full-on battleground. All right, so let's meet our two main players here. On one side, you've got Kyle Donovan. They call him the king of the hall. He's the son of the deputy police chief, and he walks around like he owns the place. To him, the school isn't a school, it's his kingdom. And then you have Maya Thorne. She's the new girl, she's smart, she's observant, and she has this quiet strength about her. She's not looking for trouble, not at all, but you can tell right away she is not going to be pushed around. And this is how it all goes down. It's such a small thing, really. A basketball rolls over, and Maya stops it. But instead of handing it back to Kyle, the little act of respect he expects from everyone, she just tosses it to his friend instead. It's a subtle move, but it's a clear one. She's not playing his game. And for Kyle, well, that's just unacceptable. He blocks her way, demands she apologize, and when she doesn't, he goes straight for a cheap, lazy racial insult.
Right. So this is the moment things go from 0 to 100. It's not just a couple of kids in a hallway anymore. With one phone call, Kyle escalates this whole thing from a simple school issue to a police matter. He's literally weaponizing his own father.
Oh, and just listen to the words he uses. Aggressive, threatening, I feel unsafe. He completely flips the script. Suddenly, he's not the one who started it. No, he's the victim. This call is a calculated lie, and it's designed to bring down the full force of the law on Maya, all because she didn't show him enough respect.
So when his dad, Deputy Chief Brennan Donovan, arrives on the scene, he's not there to figure out what happened. Nope. He's there to enforce his son's version of reality. He shows up with his mind completely made up. To him, Maya isn't a student who is in a dispute. She's just a problem that needs to be dealt with. And what he does next, it is just a textbook case of abusing your power. He doesn't even question his son's story. He immediately labels Maya a violent agitator. A teacher, an actual eyewitness, tries to step in and tell him what really happened, and he just dismisses her. And then he publicly handcuffs Maya and arrests her in the middle of the crowded hallway. This isn't about safety, it's about humiliation. It's a show of force, all for his son.
Okay, but this is where the whole story takes a massive turn. The Donovans, they are feeling pretty good about themselves. They think they hold all the power, that their authority is absolute. They are about to get a very, very rude awakening about what real power actually looks like.
And that really brings us to the core question here, doesn't it? What happens when this kind of fake, puffed-up authority, a badge used for a personal vendetta, slams head-on into the real, unshakable power of the law, wielded by someone who actually serves it? And here he is, Judge Harold Thorne, a state appellate court judge. The source material describes him as having an unforgiving scrutiny of police procedure and an unwavering moral compass. In their incredible arrogance, the Donovans have managed to pick a fight with literally the one person on the planet perfectly designed to tear their entire world apart. Oh, and yeah, one more little detail. He's Maya's father.
And this quote, man, it just lands like a bomb. In one single sentence, Judge Thorne cuts through all the lies, all the posturing, and just lays the truth bare. He's not even shouting. His voice is described as lethally calm. He just dismantles Donovan's actions, his bias, his motives, all of it with absolute surgical precision. The power dynamic hasn't just flipped, it's been completely annihilated.
And from that one moment, in that interrogation room, the fall is just swift and it is total. It's not a slow decline, it's a complete collapse. It's like watching a building get demolished in seconds, all triggered by that one fateful arrest. Just look at how fast this all happens. The suspension is immediate. The story goes national in a matter of days. A few weeks later, Brendan Donovan doesn't have a job, and his wife is filing for divorce. And then, 6 months later, the final blow. Judge Thorne files a massive civil rights lawsuit. It is just a perfect, unstoppable domino effect.
So why did this blow up into such a huge national story? Well, it's because the story basically wrote itself. You had this perfect storm of unchecked privilege, a disgusting abuse of power, and obvious racial dynamics. The narrative was so clear, so infuriating, that the media and the public just grabbed onto it instantly.
But wait, the story's not over. Not even close. Just when you think the Donovans have finally hit rock bottom, the civil lawsuit starts digging, and it uncovers something so much darker. A secret that Brendan Donovan buried years ago to protect his precious son. And what they find is just sickening. Turns out, years earlier, Kyle had committed a really serious crime, distributing explicit photos of another student. And what did his father, the cop, do? He didn't uphold the law. He shattered it. He actually threatened the victim's family, obstructed justice, and covered the whole thing up. So you see, the arrest of Maya Thorne, that wasn't a one-time thing. It was just part of a long, ugly pattern of corruption.
And that's the final nail in the coffin. This revelation changes everything. The case is no longer just about abuse of power. It's now a major felony investigation. There is no coming back from this. This is the total, complete reckoning for both of them.
So here's the final bill. Brendan Donovan confesses. He's sentenced for his crimes. His entire life, everything he built is just gone. And for Kyle, the king of the hall, his future is just as bleak. Juvenile detention until he's 21, and then a lifetime as a registered sex offender. The very system he thought was his personal plaything has now become his cage.
And when you trace it all back, where did this all start? With one person, Maya Thorne. She refused to be scared, refused to be intimidated. Her quiet strength was the tiny crack that brought the whole corrupt dam crumbling down.
In the end, it's Maya who gets the final word, and she does it with such class, without anger or gloating. At her valedictorian speech, she never even says the Donovans' names. She doesn't have to. She just talks about what true strength is, and about justice, perfectly summing up the powerful lesson at the heart of this entire thing.
So this whole story really leaves us with a big question to think about. What is true strength? Is it the power you can hold over other people, like the Donovans tried to do? Or is it found in the principles you've refused to let go of, even when you're under pressure, like Maya Thorne? It's definitely something worth thinking about.